Let's get the very latest. We can speak to Jack Rowland, who's live for us in Timbuktu. And Jackie, what more do we know about the French president's visit?
Well, we know that President Hollande made a surprise stopover in Sevare in the centre of Mali. Now, that's an important staging post for the French forces. They have a certain amount of support there, including helicopters. Now, that wasn't on his official schedule, but he stopped there, and it appears that it's there that he has hooked up with the Malian President Traoré, because they're due to come to Timbuktu together. Now, according to the original schedule, President Hollande should be on the ground here in Timbuktu by now. Well, clearly he's not, but very much all the French forces here are very much geared up, helicopters in the air, presumably to escort him in, and everyone really on the tarmac at Timbuktu airport now is really preparing to receive the French president.
And of course he will be talking about France and its transfer of the military mission in Mali to a UN-backed African force.
Yes, we are expecting one major news announcement, at least from Francois Hollande today, and that will be some kind of a timetable for the withdrawal of this French mission. There are now 3,500 French troops on the ground in Mali. They've been here now well, the force started assembling 3 weeks ago, and the plan is to transition over to a West African force, or indeed the latest idea, a UN peacekeeping force with an important African element. Now, that is something that the French had hoped would be starting already by now, but in fact so far there are only approximately 2,000 African troops on the ground. They've been very much active in the eastern city of Gao, but that African mission will need to be boosted significantly before the French can actually start to pull out and take a more backseat role here. But we'll get more details on the exact timing of that from President Hollande later during Saturday.
And he arrives amid this backdrop of revelations and documentation by Human Rights Watch and by Amnesty International of abuses on both sides.
Yes, that does leave rather a sour taste behind the otherwise cheerful scenes that we've seen. Certainly we've seen euphoric scenes of ordinary Malian citizens welcoming the French and the Malian army, but we have to remember that's not all of the picture. The people that you see out in the streets greeting the troops, there are also, and we've met them in person, other people, members of the Arab community, for example, who've actually been hiding at home pretty much since the intervention, because they're afraid of reprisals. And we have seen shops belonging to Arab shopkeepers trashed. People have been settling scores, exacting revenge, accusing the Arabs of supporting or even actively helping those Al-Qaeda-linked rebels who ran the city for the best part of a year. But most disturbing of all have been the accusations backed up by pictorial evidence. We've seen pictures of bodies that were found down a well in Sevare, that city where Francois Hollande has stopped on the way up to Timbuktu. Clearly there have been some kind of extrajudicial killings. There have been accusations that the Malian army has been rounding up people they accuse of being rebels and simply summarily executing them. And obviously these claims, these allegations, backed up, as I said, with a certain amount of evidence, really do cast rather a cloud over this idea of liberating Mali, because clearly if the country is going to be reunited under central government control, then one of the most important things will be the relationships between the various communities, and whether in fact the Arab community, the Tuareg community, the ethnic black community all feel that their interests are being fairly represented within one unified Mali.
All right, Jackie, more from you as we follow the French president's brief one-day visit to Mali this Saturday. Jackie Rowland, thanks very much.